Hi there, it's Susan from SG Development Solutions. Now, if you've already signed up to the SG Survival Guide, you'll know that this month we're talking about teams. So for the next 5 minutes, what I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about teams and what makes them effective, and encourage you to think about teams that you're a member of, be that inside or outside of work, so that you can identify what is it that makes your team successful right now, and what could you do that might make your team even more successful. Now, you don't need to look very far to be inspired by teams and what they can achieve. Just last week, Bradley Wiggins and Team Sky made history by winning the Tour de France. Now, I don't know about you, but I always thought cycling was a bit of an individual sport. It's a guy on a bike cycling faster than everyone else, isn't it? But as I watched and became inspired by the strength and determination of Bradley Wiggins going out day in, day out to win and then retain that yellow jersey, I realised that there was quite a lot of team effort involved. Now, I'm not going to stand here and talk to you about cycling because you possibly know a lot more about it than I do. But what I realised was that I think there are two fundamental factors that make an effective team. Those two factors are, I believe, a good foundation of trust and a focus on collective results. Now, just imagine for a minute, imagine a team where there was no trust. What might you see and feel and hear? I would imagine that there would be very little in the way of communication, certainly not effective communication. There perhaps wouldn't be much in the way of feedback. People wouldn't be admitting their weaknesses, people wouldn't be asking for help, people would be trying to second guess each other's behaviour, people would be focusing their efforts perhaps in less effective ways than they could do if there was an element of a foundation of trust within that team, where people felt they could rely on each other, could be open and honest with each other. Just imagine if Team Sky hadn't had a foundation of trust. How likely is it that Bradley Wiggins would have won that race? Now, what about a focus on collective results? Now, when I talk about results, I mean rather than individual goals and what the individual's trying to achieve, it's focusing on the collective. What as a team are we trying to achieve? Now, imagine if a team didn't have a focus on collective results. What might you see and hear, and how might it feel? I would imagine that there would be quite a lot of backstabbing, maybe people going off in different directions trying to achieve their own goals without thinking about the impact on the team performance. You wouldn't necessarily have people making sacrifices to achieve the common goal for the team. There would be poor performance, a lack of achieving goals, and perhaps a lack or a misplaced focus of people's effort and energy. Imagine if in Team Sky, Chris Froome had focused more on his individual desire to win the race than helping Bradley Wiggins to achieve it for the team. Just think about it. Perhaps neither of them would have won. As it is, they both won in terms of achievements for Team Sky. So trust and collective results, those are two fundamental factors that effective teams need to have in place. So what's going on in your team? Think of a team that you're a part of. Is there trust? Is there focus on collective results? So are people willing to make sacrifices for the good of the team? How do people feel when they get together in a team situation, whether it's to play a match or a game, whether it's at a team meeting? What's the feeling? What's the morale? How open and honest are people with each other? Are people comfortable revealing their weaknesses and vulnerabilities to each other? Do people put the team before themselves? What's the general feeling? Do you feel like part of a team? What could you do differently that would generate more trust and generate those collective results that would help you achieve the equivalent of your Tour de France? Now, if you're the leader of a team, I've got some tips for you. And if you're not the leader of your team, perhaps you might want to send this on to your leader to give them some tips. Because there's a couple of very simple things I think you can do. Building a foundation of trust takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. But you can kickstart the process by encouraging people to learn more about each other. And not just the stuff that we all know about each other in a work situation, but understand more about each other as individuals, what our likes and dislikes are, what we're good at, what we're not so good at. Using something like a personality profiling tool can help you do that. And something as simple as a team meeting or a team get-together, giving everyone the opportunity to just say something about themselves, reveal something about themselves, tell people things that they know about that others might not have been aware of. As the leader, you can kickstart that process. You can be the one to stand up and talk about yourself, show a bit of yourself, show a bit of your vulnerability, a bit of your interests, a bit of your personality that perhaps you don't often show. Over time, that helps to build trust. And in the meantime, what you can be doing is helping the team to focus on collective results. Now, if you can get the whole team involved in this, it's much more effective. It's about, rather than just focusing on KPIs and targets and what are we trying to achieve as a team, it's what do we stand for as a team? What's our purpose? Why are we here? Why are we unique? What can we really achieve? What can we bring to the organisation? And if you can get everyone involved in that, then what you start to find is that individuals will be driven and motivated as much by the collective team effort as by their own individual effort, and you start to focus people's energy into funneling it into achieving the same thing as everybody else. So trust and collective results. What can you do within your team to generate more trust and more of a focus on collective results? And who knows, maybe you can win the equivalent of the Tour de France. Good luck.